I wandered out on the sea, searching for something that really found me. I didn't know it, but it drew me to it. Soon I was full of its passion in me. I'm Italo Labignan. 40 years I've fished the world and have learned it's not just about catching the fish, the size of the fish, or the numbers. It's about appreciating every sunrise and sunset, the smell of the sea, savoring the culture and the fish with friends. Here's the catch. It's the total experience. Presented by Bear Reels, versatile, precision, handcrafted hybrid center pins. Hooked on MFS, quality fishing tackle. Seabreeze boats, tame the oceans, and Farlow's Caribbean cuisine with a southern twist. I love to fish oceans from the Gulf of Mexico to the cold waters of the North Atlantic and North Pacific. This week I have the pleasure of fishing with Mr. Bear Reels, Benajamin Reubeni. I may be more excited than he is on this trip because he hasn't been to BC before, and this is going to be his first time fishing the mighty North Pacific Ocean for a variety of fish. Our mission on this trip, to test his amazing Bear Reels on trophy Chinook salmon. Before we can fish though, we have to fly across North America from east to west, land in Vancouver, and leave the next day for the north tip of Vancouver Island. What do you do when you have a 10-hour layover in Vancouver, BC? You check out the city. We're going to play tourist, take public transit, and really get a nutshell look at this famous coastal city. First stop, famous gas town, to check out what's happening and see the famous steam-powered clock. Whoa, this place is full of tourists. We fit right in. Kind of reminds me of being in Times Square. Vancouver has an amazing ocean-front view with beautiful mountain backdrops. Nice to see people enjoying Stanley Park and just chilling. Time to head back to the hotel. Wake up is early, and we have to catch an inter-province flight to Port Hardy, to the north end of Vancouver Island. We catch a taxi ride to Port McNeill, and all we see is lush forest, and when we get there, a beautiful ocean view. We get to the town marina, and lo and behold, the lodge boats are waiting for us to shuttle us to Malcolm Island and the world-famous Sun's Lodge. Talk about a greeting. We pull up to the lodge docks, and all of the staff are there welcoming us with a special song. Can't wait to see where we'll be staying. I feel like I'm in a Pacific National Geographic episode. Suns welcomes their guests by giving them an orientation meeting where we all get to know one another. Then it's off to unpack our gear and head out on the water. Our goal on this trip is to hook into trophy Chinook salmon and test the drags on the Bear Reels. The technique? Running downriggers and frozen anchovies 50 to 80 feet down over deep water and trolling vast areas to find our fish. You know, one of the things that I really enjoy is fishing with different people, and Ben is a good friend of mine, and this is the first time that he's been able to enjoy fishing off the Pacific coast for salmon and using the reels that he makes. Fish on! Chinooks hit hard and make strong runs when you hook them. Lines have to be kept tight, rod tips up in the air, and you hope the fish won't throw the hook. After all, we're fishing barbless. Okay, good, nice fish. Okay, back a bit more. Oh, great release, bro. Was that good for you? I feel really bad. I'm sorry.
Didn't get my hands
I'm going to do one of these. Look, I'm really sorry. That was your first king.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad. No, I was watching him, you know. So Ben makes these reels. So I was watching him, and he wants to be doing the drift. So this is how you'd fish the reel if you're steelhead fishing, and you'd have it without the drag, probably free spool. But because, you know, we're serious fishing here for Chinooks, and look at, you know, we got the big rib, that's right. So did it feel a lot different when you moved your hand up?
Well, it gave me better leverage.
More leverage, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we fish for tarpon and stuff, a lot of the foregrips are bigger.
Yeah.
You know, we put the butt in our tummy or in the six-pack like you have. Mine are covered up, you know, because I got double shirts on. So, yeah, nice head shake. What? Oh, screamer. You know what? I wanted to palm it anyway.
You did.
So I was telling Ben, you know, to watch his hand to move it up higher, but now I've got it in what we call steelhead mode. So I've taken the drag off, and I'm using my hand on the rim spool, and I even use my little finger a little bit. Now, if you watch Jacob, you'll see he's got 2 steering wheels. You know, that says a lot. I love the way they have on the Sun's boat the steering wheels right here at the back, so he can see what's happening, grab the net at the same time. You got the net already. That's awesome, Jacob. Okay, you know what? In a minute, I'm going to step back a little bit. I'll try not to be in your way. Okay, this is a good sign. See if I can get in my head. Yeah, I'm trying. Believe it or not, I'm trying. Jacob, good job. I don't get too excited. Here, way to go, man. That was awesome. Ben? Yeah, nice Chinook. Look at gorgeous female right here from Sun's Lodge. Okay, perfect. You know what? Let's get the hook out of it. Yep. It's a gorgeous female. Am I guessing it's a female? Yep. Small head, big body. Here, Ben, if you can hold the rod. I can't wait to get my hands slimy. That's awesome. Perfect. Thank you. She is. And I'm going to try to just, in case it wants to jump, it's going to go. You ready? Here's the launch. Ben, say good. There. Bye. Boom.
All right, so here at Sun's Lodge, we got a variety of techniques we use to catch these wild Chinook salmon. So this is what's working today so far, hey? We've got this, so this is called a teaser head. And what it does is it basically takes your anchovy bait here that's been nicely salted to keep it firm. And you've just got a pin here, holds the head in place. And then we've got tandem hooks set up here. And one of them goes just behind the dorsal fin of the anchovy. And the other one should just sit basically just at the tail here. And then we get a really nice roll on it when it's spinning in the water, and that kind of mimics a wounded or a dead bait fish. And to match up with this, we call this one the Emilio, green and gold, is this my favorite flasher to date.
Wow.
All my big ones are on this exact flasher. It's called the Gold Super Betsy with a glow. Wow. It's always a winner. So
good. Good setup. Okay, I'm gonna let you drop it down, yeah.
You know what I learned, Italo, over the years? Almost impossible to catch them when it's out of the water.
Ben, cookie?
For sure.
I mean, this is rough. We got like a bag full of food in there.
These are homemade by the chef. Yep.
So I'm curious, how did you get into making the reels? Because you're not like a reel manufacturer, like from, you know, generations. How did it start?
Second generation machine shop, tool maker by trade. Came to work with my father in '97, and
for interesting. Excuse me, Ben. Can you come here?
What?
You got it? Here. Yeah, can you fight the fish like that? Yeah. You know how you need cookies for the internet? Have you got your cookies? Did you download them? Okay, this I want to see. So you were saying you had a machine shop. Right, can't. What was that? Here, I'm going to place it on the cookie holder. Okay?
Thank you. Sometime in the mid-'80s, I started seeing these center pins, anglers using them. Very intrigued by them because all I had was a spinning reel, and I saw the effectiveness of them. Fast forward to late '90s, of course, I had this machine shop at my disposal, and I always wanted to make one. Started the design stage quite early, but it always got shelved when we got busy with other things and other projects.
Are you okay? Do you need to hand off the rod?
I'm good.
Like, I'm okay. No. If you want me, okay. Bit more, right in the corner, Oh, man. You're not gonna hug me again, are you? Oh, man. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug, right? Okay, these are what we call organic salmon. Ben? Mm-hmm. Okay, you ready? Don't sprain your... Are you ready?
Oh,
you better,
yeah.
Look, hold them up. Come on. Come on. That's called a bear salmon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Look, you don't want to lip it, okay?
No.
They're a great predator, great eating fish, very plentiful. Ben, you don't have to hold it out farther.
No.
You can keep your elbow stuck in. That is a gorgeous salmon. Come on, it's got weight. Can you imagine how these guys just swim? It's like someone working out and eating all the time. Because they're working the tidal currents and they're feeding. So is that good for you?
That's good.
We'll put it in the box. You want a cigarette?
No.
Okay, let's put him in the box. You did good. You know what? You had experience with that first one. I really admire your release. You know, I'm trying to talk to you to see how good your biceps are.
Yeah.
Okay, are you feeling? Is there a
They're
little bit of a
screaming.
burn?
They're screaming.
Okay, good. Let's put him in the box.
Okay.
And we're going to continue our coffee.
Right on.
But we're not going to talk. We're just going to savor the moment. Perfect. Lunchtime on the water. Introducing the burger boat. That's exactly what it is. The chef arrives loaded with hamburgers, chicken, and sausages and fresh salads. He cooks your lunch right beside the boat. Now, is that service? And to finish things off, Nanaimo bars. I always enjoy hearing about what lodges have to offer, and there's no better way than to get it, as they say, from the horse's mouth. Introducing Lisa and Bruce Barleen, owners, Sun's Lodge.
Hi, we're Bruce and Lisa Barleen, owners of Sun's Lodge. We would like to invite you to join us at one of the most beautiful places on earth for a trip of a lifetime. We also call it summer camp for grown-ups, so it's nothing but fun and relaxation.
The fishing here is quite amazing. We got all 5 species of salmon, got all kinds of bottom fish, lane cod, halibut, rock cod. We welcome you to come fishing with us and look forward to it. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world that you can fish.
Chinook salmon are bright and beautiful. They hit hard, run fast, and often change direction on a dime. In other words, an amazing game fish. Oh, and Pacific salmon are delicious, and we both hope to take some salmon souvenir home. Wow, that fish runs so hard. Ben, I almost ran out of line. It was down to like the last second or third wrap. In a second, I'm going to take the drag off, and I'm just going to use my hand as a drag. But right now, because I'm still picking up line, that fish is way out there. This is a good sign. Maybe they're going to turn on again, or actually move in. Trying to hold them in one spot. Come on, give me all you got. If you're going to get off, you're going to get off. You know, these West Coast rods are so nice. You can see this long butt. I've got it underneath my armpit, so it's like an extension of my arm. And I'm just putting a lot of pressure on the fish. Because they're so long, they put a lot of torque on the fish. You could actually go with lighter line, but most of the time, the anglers here will use 20 to 30 pound tests. Especially when you have a lot of connections, it's good to use a little bit heavier line. Sometimes when we mess around for fun, we'll go down to as low as 10 pound tests, but then it takes a lot longer to get the fish in. I'm gonna back up, let you do the honors.
There we go.
You are good. You've had practice scooping those fish up. Thank you.
Nice fish.
I think he's a keeper.
I think he is.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
you know,
Nice
that's a
fish.
perfect table fare size.
Beautiful, beautiful. Perfect, good. Oh, okay, I don't know if I can hold him. Man, that is heavy. What do you think, 6, 7?
I think so.
I think
probably
so.
around 9 pounds.
Wow,
8 or 9
beautiful
pounds.
fish.
That is a beauty.
You know, some of the bigger fish are nice to release because
Like
they're
we've been
prime
doing this morning?
spawners. Yeah, and keep these smaller fish. I'm going to call them intermediate, juvenile-ish,
Yep.
great eating. These fish are so brilliant. Look at it, gorgeous. Too bad we don't have the sun out because I would like flash the viewers, you know what I mean?
Trying.
That's why we wear sunglasses, you know? It's because of the flash of these fish. Otherwise, like, you're blinking constantly, you know, because they're
They
so
are real
bright.
bright.
Chromers.
It's a pretty
Is
fish.
that where the name chromers
Yeah,
came
that's
from?
them. That's a bullet right
Beautiful. What a beautiful Chinook. Closed captioning brought to you by Leguano, natural barefoot technology for every adventure. Sun's Lodge looks like something out of a fairy tale. It's situated on 38 acres of well-kept grounds. Beautiful cabins await a maximum of 18 guests a trip that makes it very quaint. Did I mention that every day fishing? As you return to the lodge, a herd of friendly alpacas welcome you with a few wild island deer. Remember, fairy tale material? Our guide, Jacob Wilson Potter, not only knows how to catch fish, he's an expert at cleaning them. And right now he's going to be cleaning our salmon catch. The first thing he does is wash down the fish cleaning area to make sure it's all clean. Next, it's down to business. Sharpening knives, laying the fish out, and starting to fillet them. Salmon are big here, and Jacob's first step is to cut off the fins. Next, he makes a cut behind the gill plate and works the knife to the back. Then he starts separating the fillet from the vertebrae, being very close with his left hand to keep just the right amount of pressure so that he separates the fillet very tight to the vertebrae. No meat wasted here. Once the fillet is removed, Jacob is careful to remove any congealed blood. He repeats the same process on the other side and then cuts each fillet into individual serving size. To ensure the fish doesn't slide, he uses a special cleaning mat, which the guides use to keep the fish suspended and away from the actual hard surface. You can see the quality of each salmon piece. It's the best organic salmon you can enjoy. We fished, caught all day. We're hungry, and now it's time to eat and chill. Chef Brad has prepared fresh Pacific salmon pieces carefully sautéed in a frying pan and accompanied by ricotta-filled cannelloni pasta with a special sauce. We're both hungry and ready to devour our meal.
That looks great.
And the plate is hot. Thank you very much. So Ben, look, we had a fun time fishing. I want to know what, before we dig into this, because it looks awesome. I'm curious to see what this tastes like, so we need to dig in. But I also want to know how you got into fishing. Was it your dad? Was it grandfather? Was it friends when you were younger?
Yeah, so I can't remember the first time I went fishing, so obviously I was a youngster. Both my father and my grandfather, from my maternal side actually, took me fishing all the time.
Wow.
Primarily it was...
For small stuff and stuff, freshwater?
Small stuff, and then we graduated to large.
Did that last long? Are you still muskie fishing?
I caught the big one and I retired from muskie fishing.
How big?
It was 56 inches, 44 pounds.
That's a good fish. Yeah. Are you going to tell me where you caught it or not? Is it a secret?
It was Georgian Bay.
Wow. Wow, that's a big bay.
And we were actually participating in a Muskies Canada tournament.
Oh, wow. That is a nice fish.
Yes.
Good. So look, before we talk more about fishing, I just got to tell you, this is like beautiful salmon. I was watching the guys, the way they clean their salmon down on the docks, the way they fillet very carefully, and the portions, you know, this is a perfect portion. And I love ricotta cheese. At home, I almost try to have it every morning. So this cheese-filled cannoli with like onion and stuff is amazing. You got to admit, the meals here at Suns have been awesome. Look at this salmon, the way it's done. The bottom side has been seared, and it looks really crunchy. I'm actually going to eat the skin, because I love to eat the skin. If you flip it over, look at the color of the meat. I mean, I got a feeling that this might be slightly smoked, just because of the color. Because see, it looks like it's been smoked, and then he's pan-fried it and seared it on one side. I mean, it looks so good.
It's absolutely delicious.
I agree. Okay, now Ben, I see you got one of your bare reels here. I've been using them. They work great. I've used them for steelhead fishing with you in northern British Columbia. And I've used them in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yep.
And we're just going to dazzle the viewers. I'm going to spin it. What do you think is going to be the spin time if I was to hold this? We don't have all night.
That's about a 5-6 minute spin time.
I believe it. And you said it doesn't matter whether I hold it in any direction. This is an amazing center pin. I've caught fish almost up to 100 pounds, you know, fishing in Florida and the Gulf of Mexico, everything in between, you know, even smaller fish and stuff. Tell me what makes it so special. It looks like a piece of jewelry, like handcrafted, but what, there's got something like, I haven't taken them apart. What makes it so special?
I think it's just attention to detail. There's an extreme amount of accuracy and care put into each and every reel that we make. They're handmade. They are all fitted by me. I don't make all the components. I have a factory where I have employees that make them for me. All the designs are mine, but the completion is all fitted by me, and I even custom fit them to the customer's requirements, what they prefer, the fit to be on the reel and how they want to enjoy using it. This particular reel is an evolved model that we've catered now to the saltwater. But basically, up until now, we've had two different models, two different style of reel, either with drag or without drag. This one is like with drag on steroids now.
It has up to like a 25-pound drag, right?
Correct. We market it as 25-pound drag, but it's much stronger. It actually broke 25-pound test very easily.
Wow.
Yes. So with that amount of drag pressure, this now became a very versatile reel. You can obviously free spool it for your drifts in the river, engaging the drag and then putting the lock on so that drag switch doesn't move anymore. You now have fine tension, fine tuning of the amount of drag pressure that you want to use. So this now became not only a center pin drifting reel, float reel, but now you can bottom bounce, mooch, troll with this.
Everything.
So it's basically 4 reels in one.
It's a gorgeous reel, it's smooth, but what I love is that I can go hand to hand with the fish. So even though it's got that great drag, and to be honest with you, I usually, even with large fish, like amberjacks, kingfish and stuff like that, I have the drag on right off the bat, because I don't want to get hurt, you know, in case my hand goes in there.
Right.
When they're sizzling line off at 30 miles an hour, this thing is spinning much faster than what we're doing here, you know, going
Exactly,
like this.
yes.
So I'll use the drag, but then as soon as the initial runs, the first, I'm going to say minute, is gone, then I take it off and I'm into this free spool. And I use my hand, palm it, you know, and I also use it, because the rod's here, I use a couple of fingers on top. I'm just so used to it. And I love the idea of having that control with my fingers, even in cold weather. So it's an amazing reel. You know what? We better finish our dinner. I'm getting hungry. I know I want to talk more about the reel after, but this meal is so good.
It's delicious.
Listen, I'm having a wonderful time with you. I can't wait to get out again tomorrow.
I can't wait for tomorrow, and thank you so much for
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a real treat.
One day I wandered out on the sea, searching for something that really found me. I didn't know it, but it drew me to it. Soon I was full of its passion in me. I'm Italo Labignan. 40 years I've fished the world and have learned it's not just about catching the fish, the size of the fish, or the numbers. It's about appreciating every sunrise and sunset, the smell of the sea, savoring the culture and the fish with friends. Here's the catch. It's the total experience. Presented by Bear Reels, versatile, precision, handcrafted hybrid center pins. Hooked on MFS, quality fishing tackle. Seabreeze boats, tame the oceans, and Farlow's Caribbean cuisine with a southern twist.